lovely evening, nice Irani chai in Hyderabad. And I'm glad I'm here and to share my failure story. Uh, when the program started, somebody here said about the first benchers and the back benchers, and my best part about school and college was being a backbencher. And for a backbencher, failure is like a Hyderabadi tasting biryani. So that's how it is, and that's how it has been for me. And my failures, coming to my failures, way back in 2008, I could see. Uh, I could drive, I could ride a car, ride a two-wheeler, everything. And I had involved myself in mass media course because I wanted to be a filmmaker. And suddenly one day I wake up, it was 2nd September 2008, and I used to have headaches and double vision and nausea every day. And we went for MRI scan, and that's when I got to know a biggest companion in my life, that's a tumor is residing in my brain. And that was a big shocker for me because in 1 month, the whole life changed. Somebody who had a dream of becoming a filmmaker lost her eyesight. I could not see anymore. And to add it all, the tumor caused hearing impairment. I lost my taste, I lost my smell. I had paralysis on my right limbs. I could not move. And I was bedridden. Even for basic daily needs, there was somebody to help me out. And this was my life. Imagine you're on the bed and you're thinking about your life, what's going to happen to you. And in that moment, I hear another news, from the doctor. They didn't want me to hear, but I overheard it, saying that I just have 3 months to live. So, facing such failure in life, I mean, it's not your mistake, you have done something and you have faced it. Then you can curse yourself, why did I even do that? But I couldn't even do that because it was not in my hands. My health was not in my hands. And then I looked around, I saw all my friends, who were doing mass comm, they were doing something in advertisement, they got into filmmaking. And I was at home for 3 years. Of course, those 3 months became 3 years. I recuperated my senses, other than my eyesight had come back. But what was I doing there? Nothing. For simple, we used to have those card mobile recharges, 10 rupees, 50 rupees. So even for that 10 rupees, I had to ask my stepmom and my sister for that. And I could not go out because I realized that I could not walk all by myself. I used to, if there are any traffic polices here, please forgive me because I used to ride 4 people on a scooty pep back then when I used to see. And now when I had the, vision loss, I had to hold somebody's hand and walk. And it was such an ache because I have always been independent, rowdy as you call so in Hyderabad. But for me to hold somebody's hand and walk was a terrific, time. But then this came into my life. My darling it is. Darling Devi I call it. And slowly life started changing. And what about my filmmaking? I left it. I thought, okay, this is the complete end to my filmmaking life, and this is the complete end to being independent. And one of the hobbies I had back when I had eyesight is sketching. I think there are some pictures of some pencil sketches if that can be displayed. So I used to sketch this as a backbencher. And I don't know if you're able to see, there's one with Aishwarya Rai of Jodha Akbar, from Jodha Akbar. That was my last sketch before I lost my eyesight. Just 1 month before, I did that in the classroom. And I had to leave that, because sketching was such a part of my life. And I remember after losing my eyesight, I had the sketchbook in front of me all empty. I had all this 3HB, 2HB, all HB pencils in front of me. I started drawing. I didn't know, I couldn't see what I was drawing, but I was drawing. And I remember taking the pencil nib and putting it on the paper. I broke down, completely broke down. I almost broke down in such a way that I started tearing the paper in that pain of not being able to do the thing you love the most. And I remember, as a visually impaired person, moving around in the city, and one day I ended up in a unigender washroom. And my cousin helped me till the door, and she said, this is a unigender washroom. I went inside. I wanted to wash my hands. And for me, my eyesight is, I cannot see you all right now. But I know there's a light there, somewhere here, there's some kind of light perception, that's all. And in that light, I can make out white, if anything is white against a contrasted background. And there was something white in front of me. I thought, obviously, that's wash basin at the waist level. I had my hands in it, and then I realized that it was not the wash basin, but it was the gents' urinals. I had my hand in it. And these are the failures that made me who I am today. I faced it, and they left me with, choices. One is to sit and cry over that, why me? We always do that, like, merko ich kaiku hona hai, like that. But on the other hand, it also teaches you to take the other step and walk ahead, and probably that's what I did. And the shattered dreams of being a filmmaker. Later, after, this was in 2008, in 2014, I started directing a movie as a visually impaired person, scripting and directing it. And in 2018, I remember going to an art gallery and realizing that even the most beautiful art there, if you ask me how was it, I would say, bahut acha hai kyunki ye blank hai. Because I didn't know what was there in the painting, And then I thought I need to do something about accessible art. And I started creating art that can be touched. If those paintings can be displayed on the screen, please. So these are some of the artworks I did from my failures, because I remember how I started this is, I was thinking, what can I do to make art accessible? Nothing, no resources in front of me. There was no blind artist in India. There was one person called Miss Shri Binodji, who had passed away long back. But other than him, I could not find any blind artists. And there was this one day, I'm a foodie, so I was eating something. I don't know what that something, but all I remember was there was aluminium foil in my hand, and I was fidgeting with it, and I ended up making a dolphin. And that's when I realized I can use dolphin to create 3D art. And next problem came in. Another failure is, how do I identify colors? I know all of you must be thinking, "Arey, itna acha painting hai, how do you even identify colors?" So that's when the entrepreneurship came in. I spoke to my friend Vivian Manohar, he's a tech guy, and I was like, why can't we come up with QR codes, an app that I can scan these QR codes and record my own description of the color. And that's how, if you can see in my hand, there's a acrylic cube, and on that there's a QR code. When I scan it with the app now, it plays back the whatever recording I've done. It says this is yellow ochre, you can use it for this. And last, even for paintings, when I created my paintings, for the art places, when it's displayed, there are these QR codes that when you scan them, it provides audio description for visually impaired, sign language videos for deaf and hard of hearing, and textual information for sighted persons. So I am here not saying that, okay, this is what I have achieved, but I'm here saying that despite all the failures, I looked for a solution from those failures, and I'm here today. And I bet if I was to be with Picasso in a darkened room, I know who's going to win. And Mr. Picasso will surely learn what failure is then. Thank you so much.